Hi folks, welcome back to the channel. I've just had delivered this Air 2S. This was a drone that was released by DJI just yesterday, in fact, so I'm very excited to get this thing out of its box and have a play with it. Now, over the coming weeks, I will be fiddling about with all of the new features that are included with this model, but for today, we're going for the more traditional unboxing, a setup guide, and then the first flight. So I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you do, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe for future content. Don't worry, those of you that are enjoying my Mini 2 content, I still very much have that drone, love it to bits, and will be continuing to make videos on it as and when they need to be done. And just before we get on with the unboxing, a warning for all of you that are purchasing here in the UK, the DJI Air 2S is going to be classified as a legacy drone despite being brand new. There is no classification on here from DJI. That means that come January the 1st, 2023, unless the CAA have a change of heart, which some people are expecting them to with how they actually classify legacy drones, then come that date, there's going to be a whole host of additional restrictions on where and when you can fly this thing. So just bear that in mind. As of for right now, I'm going to be flying this using Article 16 regulations, which do give you much more freedom than the traditional default regulations for a drone over 250 grams, but you do need to be a member of a flying club. It's quite an easy process. It's got to be a recognised flying club such as FPV UK, which is the club I'm a part of, but do go ahead and check that out before flying in the UK, and just be careful because of those CAA additional regulations which could come into force in just over a year's time. Alright then folks, let's get on with the unboxing. Moving on to the unboxing then, I'll try and keep this brief since I know you've probably seen 1,000 of these on YouTube as it is. We've got the combo pack here. This is actually a version of the combo pack that includes a year of DJI Care refresh as well. So I picked this up from Amazon. I'll leave a link, of course, in the description. I also picked up a memory card. This happened to be on a prime deal at the time, a 128 gigabyte Class 10 memory card, I believe this is. It's the same memory card I use in my Mini 2, and it does the job wonders. This drone does actually come with 8 gigabytes of internal storage. I was hoping for a little bit more since that's only the same amount that the Air 2 comes with, but it is what it is. It's there for emergencies, really, if you forget your memory card or whatever. So let's go ahead and get inside the package. Just about getting the lid off here. There we go. Right, so we do get the drone itself along with a number of components such as the controller in a nice carry case here. Very similar to the case that came with my Mini 2. Let's take the accessories box out first. We'll just put that down there. I believe that will contain extra propellers amongst other things maybe as well. Okay, looks like there's everything else stored in this carry case. It's got that nice new smell to it actually. So let's go ahead and open things up here. I'll try and turn this so you guys can see it. Nice. Okay. Right. So we've got the controller. This is absolutely identical to the controller for the Mini 2, the Air 2. We'll leave that to the side. Another accessories box, presumably with all the battery stuff in. That is the multi-charger for the 3 batteries, since we get an additional 2 with the combo pack. And here we have the drone itself. And don't forget, I've only ever actually owned a Mini 2 in terms of drones, so this is quite a big step up in terms of size and weight. I can definitely feel that additional weight there over the Mini 2. And there is a side pocket actually, just make sure there's nothing lurking in there. Nope, like to be thorough. And we'll have a look what's in the accessory boxes. Okay, so in here we have the additional 2 batteries. We have the charging cable and brick there. So what this is, it's a little adapter that can attach to any of the 3 batteries and turn each of those batteries into a mini charging hub. 2 USB ports there so that you can charge other devices like a phone. With each of these batteries fully charged, you can get up to 31 minutes of flight time, which is a little bit less than what could be achieved on the Air 2. However, these batteries are identical in spec to the batteries that are included with the Air 2. In fact, the Air 2 batteries and the Air 2S batteries are completely interchangeable with one another. So the fact that you get 3 minutes less flight time with each of these on a full charge indicates that the hardware itself is going to be sucking a little bit more juice out of them. Presumably that's because I think it's about 200 grams heavier, so that's going to require more battery juice, and that's probably down, I'd imagine, to the additional sensors and perhaps the camera sensor itself, which has been improved. So let's go ahead and open the second accessory box here. We have our quick start guide. So with the combo pack, we get a whole bunch of props here. Now, this is a nice little thing, and I've not seen this included with a DJI combo pack before for a drone, but this dinky little box here is actually a set of ND filters. And to open this, we just slot this clip down here, and I think we just kind of get our fingernails in. There we go. And you can see there's 4 ND filters. These are ND4, ND8, 16 and 32. If you don't know what ND filters are for, then please check out the previous video I made on the topic. A couple of additional sticks for the controller. These can get lost as they're only quite small, so it's nice that these are included. And then also a charging cable as well. And finally, I know, as I say, you've all seen this probably, but let's just go ahead and get the remote controller out to complete the package. There it is. And on the drone itself, we have the gimbal protector, as would be expected. The one thing you don't get included, that is included with the Mini 2 combo pack, are the prop guards. And there we have it then, guys. That's everything that comes included with the DJI Air 2S combo pack. The only thing that I was expecting was perhaps the included DJI Care refresh plan might have come on, say, a card or something with a code, but I can't see anything, so perhaps it's actually already tied to the drone itself. I'm going to look more into that as we get things set up further. Now, the first thing I'm going to want to do is charge the batteries. We're going to have to charge these 3 batteries, as well as the battery that's included inbuilt directly into the RC. So this one will charge simply by the USB charging cable that's come included. We plug it into here, very simple, that will charge that. Now, because this is the combo pack, we're going to be using the included. We just need to move the top 2 legs out of the way there, and then the clips on the side, hopefully you can see them, one on each side. Simply push those in and off it comes. There we go, they're nicely fixed on there once you've connected them. The only thing I would say is this multi-charging port feels quite flimsy, so just be careful not to snap that as you're inserting and removing the batteries from it. And then, as I say, we're just going to connect the power brick into that there, and we'll be able to get these charged. There are actually 2 different types of propellers depending on which arm we're going to be connecting them to. So you can see they are labelled A and B. Okay, we're going to need 2 of each, so 2 of these and 2 of these. Now you can see on the A propeller here that there's a small orange circle around the bottom of the prop there, or the centre of the prop once they're open. That's very important. The B propellers do not have that small orange circle, and that's just going to help us connect them into the right positions. So if I open up this propeller here, this is the A propeller, which has that small orange circle. On the rear side, you can see there's a couple of clips, and very simply, on one of the arms that has those orange markings, we're simply going to rest the clips inside. No tools are required for this, and then just turn it so that it locks into place. It's really that simple. There's nothing else to it. That is completely secured now. We just need to do that to the other propellers. So another A propeller with that orange circle, and the 2 B propellers without. But there we have it then. So the Mini 2 is pretty much set up now. We can start getting the app downloaded and connecting everything together with the controller. Now, just before we turn everything on, it's important that we take the gimbal cover, the gimbal protector, off the Air 2S. We can then simply press the power button and press it again to turn it on. And then we can also do the same on the controller itself. A single press, then a long press. And now we're just going to wait a moment. I'm also going to start recording my screen here. Okay, and it's actually picked up the Air 2S immediately for me. I didn't even have to connect it manually. So we're going to go ahead and select Enable on that. Agree here to the terms and conditions. And then we can also bind the drone to our account. If you haven't got a DJI account, you will need to create one. And once we've done that, the aircraft is going to activate. Okay, let's select done. And right, okay, it looks like, yes, it has detected my DJI Care refresh that was included and bundled with the package. So this is actually really good. I haven't got to do anything. I was a little bit concerned there was no card or anything. I thought they forgot to include it. But nope, it's all set up on the drone. So I'm just going to select Activate Care Refresh here. Successfully activated. Wonderful. So now if we just head to the settings here, a lot of different settings compared to what I'm used to with my Mini 2. And if we just scroll down, yep, I can see those settings. If we go to About, we can check for various updates here. So the first thing I'm going to do is check for the aircraft firmware update. New firmware available, not surprising. We'll select Update here. And then we can go ahead and update. I do not believe you can fly the drone without this first firmware update. While the update's finishing, I'm just going to show the effect of some of these LED lights by turning off the lighting in this room. And hopefully, you know, you'll see that perhaps in lower light conditions, these LEDs are actually kind of powerful and they have that strobe effect as well. Now, I doubt they'll be as good as the Cree lights I tested in a previous video with my DJI Mini 2. We got a huge range on those at night time, but still, they are looking nice and bright. So I'm looking forward to testing out these particular lights that are included with the Air 2S on a night flight in future. So stick around if you want to see that. Okay, firmware installed. Let's go ahead now and select Go Fly. Of course, it's not something you want to do, flying indoors. So I'm not going to do that, but I am just going to make sure that the propellers spin before taking this out and about. Now, in order to get the propeller spinning, but without actually going into the air, you want to move the... I'll do it from here, look. And it looks like they are. They are spinning nicely. Just as, you know, we need them to be. Okay, so now that I'm happy that the initial checks are complete, we'll be able to get this thing outside. There's a couple of things, though, I still want to talk to you about. So in order to turn the propellers off, we're just going to push this down. Okay, as if we were landing. And now we can get the drone and the controller turned off. So the first of the two things I want to show you before we head outside. First of all, we want to get the memory card installed. And that is just through this little pocket on the side there. And I'm not sure which way this goes in. It might go in upside down. Yes, it goes in upside down. And then we can close that up. Incidentally, on the other side, we have another little pocket for charging the drone directly with the battery installed if we wish to do so, or for transferring images off the internal or memory card storage onto a computer or similar device. Okay then, now this is relevant for anybody here in the UK that is going to be a pilot with the Air 2S. You are legally required before flying this drone outside to have an operator ID displayed on the side. If you do not have an operator ID, you will need to go to the drone registration website in order to get one. It is £9, a simple process, and it shouldn't take you long to do. Now, here is an example of an operator ID. This is not a real one. This is one I printed off just to show you guys. And what I've done very easily is created or pasted my operator ID into Word, size 14 font, printed it off, laminated it, and I can simply tape this to the side of the drone. You can get actual labels. Some of them are quite expensive. I really don't see the point. This is the method I used for my Mini 2. It's worked wonders so far. And all we need to do is position that onto the side of the drone, somewhere visible. Okay, it can't be hidden away. And then I'm just going to tape that on there and it won't go anywhere. All right, folks, not going to pretend I'm not a little bit nervous, but I am also very excited. So enough with all the admin stuff. Let's get the Air 2S outside and up in the air for my very first flight. Okay, so I'm going to take the gimbal protector off first of all. Okay, we can actually, let me just start the recording. Yeah, you can see on the screen here, we've got the option to switch over to the SD card, which I am going to do. So we'll select confirm there. And on the left-hand side here, we also have Actually, I just noticed. Oh, I think it's still updating, which is why the location on the compass isn't correct. But yeah, you can see on the left-hand side we can turn on the obstacle avoidance sensors, safety assistant mode. Something I didn't see that message; it was so fast. But hopefully that's all set up now. It looks like it's only forwards and backwards. Is that right? Looks like we've got a bunch of satellites there. We're currently in normal mode, which is what I want. Let's just have a very brief look at some of these settings here. So that's the zoom. Okay, it can go up to 4 times zoom with the current recording mode. So if we select video, normal, yep, that's fine. Go down to the resolution at the bottom here. Unlike with the Mini 2 in 4K recording, we can actually record in up to 60 frames per second. I'm not going to do that for the purposes of this video because all the other recording I've been doing so far has been in 30 FPS. So we're going to keep things uniform there. I'm also not using any of the ND filters, so we're just going to keep, I think that's, what's that, automatic exposure, is it? No, I'm not sure. AF, actually. Autofocus? I don't know. I'll have to look into that. Let me know in the comments if you know what that AF is about there. Okay, that's looking good so far. Here we go, our first takeoff with the DJI Air 2S. Exciting. Awesome. It's actually in the air. Oh yes, I should check my safety settings first. Max altitude 120 meters, max distance 480, auto return to home around here about 60 is fine. And yeah, that's awesome stuff. Okay, I haven't done any calibrations yet. I do want to bring the compass up slightly larger if possible. It does look a little off the compass, I've got to say, so I'll need to have a look at that at some point. But let's gain just a touch of height. Just do... Oh, I think the obstacle avoidance, that was strange, that was. The obstacle avoidance lifted it further into the air than I had anticipated. I think it's because it was above the table. Yeah, that is weird. That is really weird. I think I'm not going to do the low flying today. I'm going to try and get used to the flying in general first. So we'll just gain some height to start with. Drop the gimbal down. We'll just gain a height to about 40 meters. 50. And push forwards. Away it goes. This is my very first flight with the Air 2S. And it's a nifty little drone, I've got to say. Even in normal mode. Oh, what? Oh, we've got the banking settings a little different. I can actually change that if need be. So we can't go past the 480 meter limit, which is what it's set to in the settings, which is fine because at the end of the day, we need to keep it in visual line of sight anyhow. Right, well, let's start recording anyway. So we can have a look at this, excuse me, this 4K footage. The Air 2S can actually record in up to 5.4K, I believe it is, at 30 frames per second, or 4K up to 60 frames per second, which is pretty nifty. There's obviously a lot of additional features that I'm not going to be used to coming from the Mini 2, but I'm sure we can make plenty of videos to discover all of those as we go. So yeah, I can still see that drone. I'll just point it back towards me. Now, one of the things that I haven't yet spoken about is that the Air 2S actually comes with OcuSync 3.0 as opposed to OcuSync 2.0. Now, this is only the second drone from DJI that comes with OcuSync 3.0, the first being the FPV drone. Now, as far as I understand, the main difference with OcuSync 3.0 and OcuSync 2.0 is the fact that 3.0 is going to have additional antennas on the drone itself. So there's now 4 antennas on the drone. I believe they're on the legs. And the main positive of this is that when the drone is facing towards us, we should still retain a strong signal. Now, you may be aware that with the other OcuSync 2.0 drones, such as the Mini 2, once the drone is oriented to face the pilot, you tend to get a weaker signal, and that's because the fewer antennae that are installed on that drone are then not in a in a prime position. So as far as I'm aware, that's pretty much the main difference with 3.0 is those additional antenna. The actual connection to Wi-Fi is pretty much the same. It's using the same connections, the same bands, etc. Okay, let's just take the drone over some of these fields, these open spaces. Yeah, I'm not used to this banking situation that we've got going on here. This is probably something I'm going to need to change and fix. Okay, yeah, it's control. We're going to put the gimbal mode into follow mode. Pretty sure that's it. Yeah, FPV mode I'm sure is a lot of fun, but it's just not something I'm used to. So it's strange that it had that set up by default. As I say, that is not something that I myself have ever used in this app. And if I just get a little bit more range again, perhaps we can finish by testing the return to home functionality. Now, I know I haven't tested, well, pretty much any of the new and exciting features of the Air 2S, but that was never the point of today's video. We just want to make sure that everything is working, and it looks like the props are all installed correctly. At least we haven't flown into the ground just yet. So 300 meters, let's go ahead and enable return to home. So to do that, we select the home button, do not select land, and then hold return to home.
Go home.
And now the drone will just reorient itself and bring itself back. And since it's still recording, we can continue to adjust the gimbal, I believe. Actually, no, we can't. On the Mini 2, that was a feature that was enabled in a recent firmware update. But apparently it is not yet a feature on the Air 2S unless it is something I need to change in the settings. I'm just going to cancel return to home. Okay, what I'm going to do is just stick it into sports mode, see what sort of speed we can get out of this thing. Right, there we have it. So we're going to put it into sports mode just to finish off today. See what sort of speeds we can get since we're pretty much wind free right now. It's pretty nifty. I believe it can go up to about 46 miles per hour. So we're just about reaching 16.5 meters per second there. And, okay, I was scared then by that red icon in the top right-hand corner, but that's because we put it into sports mode. That means the obstacle avoidance is turned off. That's absolutely fine. I was thinking, oh no, have I lost connection or something already? But no, we haven't. Right, one thing I do want to do is just pop over to safety there. And, no, not safety. What is it I want? Is it control? Yes, control. And if we just stick it in, I want to see miles per hour. Is that not a feature? We can, oh yeah, that's it. Imperial. I want to see how fast we can go miles per hour here. So we're still in sports mode, and doesn't look like we're going to be getting close to that 46 miles an hour mark. 35.7. Okay, if I turn it round, oh, that was some heavy banking right there. Did you see that on the compass? And we'll start heading back. Okay, yes, so it looks like we're going with a nice tailwind here. 42 miles an hour. 42.5. Yeah, not bad at all. Not bad at all. Yeah, one thing that I am going to have to get used to is this obstacle avoidance. It actually makes it a little bit trickier to land, it seems. It really does. I can't actually move the drone from side to side at the moment. I'm pushing hard on the stick and it's just not moving, it's just hovering. Yeah, I'm trying to land and it's just lifting back up in the air. It's weird because the Mini 2 actually has obstacle avoidance as well, so I'm going to have to turn that off, I think, in order to go for my landing here. Yeah, that's better. I can actually move the drone now. And it's still saying no to that. I want to land on this table, but it's not allowing me to move forward because I guess I'm in the way. Do I need to actually turn it round? Pull it backwards? It's because of those backward sensors. It's not allowing me to bring it back either. I've actually got obstacle avoidance turned off, I thought, so I'm not sure why it's doing this. Okay, I've got it over the table now. At least I know the obstacle avoidance is working. Just bleeding annoying that I wasn't actually able to land the drone where I wanted it to because the drone wasn't responding to my commands. But there we go, the very first flight of my Air 2S, and overall, fun little drone, or fun medium-sized drone, I should say. Looking forward to really exploring many of these features. I do want to do a compass calibration though, as it wasn't 100% accurate. It's probably about 85% accurate. So let's get things shut down and give you my final thoughts. Okay then folks, so there we have the Air 2S, and in all fairness, once it's in the air and flying, it's pretty much the same experience in many ways, at least the flying experience, as my Mini 2. Now, it is a little bit niftier. It does have some pretty good wallop to it, especially I noticed, you know, with the top speeds in sports mode, it was going over 40 miles an hour at one point, which is going to take a little bit of getting used to, but overall the experience is very similar. Now, one thing that is going to take some getting used to, I feel, is the obstacle avoidance. Even when I turned it off at the end there, the drone didn't seem to be responding to my commands on the sticks, because it was still saying, it was bringing up the orange, red warnings around the screen saying, no, I'm still detecting obstacles. I'm not going to do what it is you're asking me to do, even though all I wanted it to do was to land. So I'm probably missing a trick there. There's something that I haven't done or need to do. I'm going to look more into that. But apart from that, I've had a lot of fun with my first flight here. I'm looking forward to just getting the footage off the memory card now, seeing how that compares to perhaps the Mini 2 footage. And then obviously going forward over the coming weeks, I'm really going to be exploring many of the new features of the Air 2S, those motion shot or master shots. I'm looking forward to trying that out. Seems like a fun little gimmick to try out, along with the active track, something that was available with the Air 2 but not with the Mini 2, so I've had no experience with active track up until this point. But as always, I'm very interested in hearing your views of the Air 2S. Maybe you've got one yourself and you've got some experience with it, or maybe you're thinking of purchasing one. Please do let us know what you think about the drone down in the comments below. Now, don't forget, for those in the UK, this is still an unclassified drone, so unless the CAA decide to adjust the regulations on unclassified legacy drones, when it comes to 2023 1st of January it is, this is going to have a whole host of additional flying restrictions put on it. So just bear that in mind if you are in the UK and thinking of purchasing this. But anyway, thanks so much for stopping by. Have a wonderful day, and until next time, happy flying. Goodbye, folks.